And now let's talk about iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. So before we get into all of that fun stuff, let's talk about like all these rumors and people's reaction during the when they found out about the 7 design and concept. So as we all know, the 7 and 7 Plus are the outer body is pretty much the same as the 6S and 6S Plus. Um, Mainly the 7 is actually supposed to be the time where we get a major upgrade, but a lot of a lot of speculation is I can't even talk today. Is that next year, 2017, will be the Apple iPhone 10-year anniversary. So therefore, I think they're holding off the new design for next year. And then, everything will be back on track kind of thing. So this is kind of like a little curveball. But to me, I think from the outside, the body, yeah, it's the same, but it's the inside that what's count. I mean, all the new feature and the functionality of what's to expect, it's it's not like, like there's a lot of phone companies, we shall not name any names, but if you guys know me, you know who I'm talking about. You know, there's other phone company that comes out with really amazing, exciting like bodies and the phones look, but the function is useless. Like you don't even use half of it. And also, I think it's our fault. Yeah, you and you. We we tend to set the bar and expectation for Apple a little higher. So we expect so much from them, but there's only so much you can do. Like I'm sure they can add in a whole lot more function and feature, but then you'll end up with a really bulky phone. So you have to understand, in order to keep the phone as the thin as possible, but packed with all the power, it's not an easy job. And to me, I think when Apple decide to put their name and their brand on something, they make sure it has to work. It's not just gonna be for show or to outbeat any other competitions. When Apple's put their stamp on there, it has to work. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the iPhones. So let's talk about some of the features in here. So as you know, the 7 and 7 Plus, it's water and dust resistant. Now with that, let me try to I had a question from a friend on Facebook asking if they can go swimming with this. It is not the Apple Watch. You can't go swimming. You can't go swimming with the phone. I can't imagine why you would want to go swimming with the phone. But it is water resistant. So that means if it's raining, your phone don't have to worry about getting wet, except for you. You have to worry about getting wet. I'm pretty sure you can shower with your phone, but again, it's one of those things. Why would you want to shower while you're in the phone? Why do you want a phone call when you're showering? Unless it's for some kinky, weird sex stuff that you guys are into. But I mean, unless I'm giving tip on how to shampoo and condition my hair, there's really no need for me to shower with my phone. And I'm pretty sure it can go to a certain amount of depth of water before it actually damage. And so on top of that, let's talk about the camera. So we will be getting a 12 megapixel Now, depending on which model of the phone you have, whether it's the 7 or the 7 Plus. Now, the 7, it's 7 is also a 12 megapixel, but the difference is the 7 Plus is a dual camera. That means you have two 12 megapixel camera. One is for wide angle and one is for telephoto cameras. I don't know what telephoto is. I'm not a photography major, so yes, I don't know. And the zoom for the 7 is 5x, and then for the 7 Plus, it can go up to the 10 times zoom or 10 times x. I don't know. Someone if you guys are a photographer or into photography, please let me know below what this optical zoom, and I mean, I know it's zooming, it's like in and out, but if you can, please give me more info about that. And for videos, you guys can now shoot 4K video at 30 frames per second. Now, I haven't really played around with the videos much either, but so, and then there's FaceTime, which is the front camera, which is what I'm shooting right now. So the front camera for your selfie will be 7 megapixel. Yeah, I mean, it's not as much as many of other phones out there with like 18, 24, or whatever megapixel. Like, I really never understood that. I mean, unless you're a photography major or really into photography, that's great. For me, I just take selfies, so, 5 megapixel was fine, but 7 megapixel, not too bad. I can live with that. And then, on top of that, you no longer have that audio jack. You now have just the C port. So basically, you'll get an adapter. What comes in the phone box is the headphones, and then you also get an adapter, which means the adapter will plug into the phone, and then you can have another hole. At the end, it'll have a hole for you to plug in the usual headphones if that's what you want. But then there's also the wireless earpods, which will come out later in October. So that would be something really interesting for you guys to look at. So now let's talk about colors. I mean, the feature. Sorry, let me rewind that back. But let's talk about the feature again. So, with the features, for me, I'm a really basic person. Like, I don't do all the technical stuff, or whatever it is that people do with their phone. For me, if you can take a video, take a selfie, if I can update my Facebook, Instagram, then I'm perfectly fine. Video games, not so much, The graphic is good. And as far as video watching, I really don't watch video on my phone sometimes, unless I'm laying in bed. I usually, when I watch video, it's this thing. The iPad Pro is my to-go-to. So, if you're a basic person, this iPhone pretty much does everything you need to do, plus more. And you can play with the feature once, you kind of understand and read more about it. But with the new iOS 10, it's going to change the game up a little bit. It's going to be really exciting, simple, and easy to use. So, let's talk about colors. I know a lot of people has question about the colors. So, let's talk about colors real quick. So, we have the color that normally have is rose gold, the silver. In addition to those three colors, 2 new color has been added, which is black and jet black. The difference, it's, the two blacks are kind of similar, but, I'm sure you can tell the difference right away. The, it seemed like the jet black has more of a gloss shine to it than the regular black one. And then capacity, let's talk about that. So for capacity, you're looking at 32, 128, 256 gigabyte. So you see that they ditched the 64 gig. In my opinion, I think they should have ditched the 32 gig and just gone with 64, 128, 156. Now, for me, I'm currently using the 6S Plus with 128 gigabyte. And let me tell you, it is amazing because I don't know if you guys have this problem, but for me, I have tons and tons of music like in my iTunes, and I just hate, like going through, deleting it, removing, and then adding new content in. Whereas this, with that much capacity, I literally could add my whole iTunes library into my phone, which takes up about 15 to almost 20 gigabyte of my phone. That's how much music. And I don't listen to all of the music on there, but if you guys have any experience anything like me, like let's say you're driving and all of a sudden you have that one song pop in your head for no reason, and then you look through your phone, you're like, shit, where's that song? I don't have it with me. So with this higher capacity, I literally just put everything in, so I know whatever song pops in my head, it's there, unless I don't have the song. So with that, I don't have to remove any new content. I don't have to worry about deleting apps or anything. So I like to say, like, spend a little more, you get a little more. Then you don't have to worry about like updates and downloading and deleting certain things. So that's always a plus. And so now let's talk about the price. I'm sure everyone has that questions for that. So for the price,